Okay, looks like I'm live. Let me go back over to Zoom. And I need to mute whatever that noise is. I can hear me twice. Can you all hear me twice? That is so crazy. Okay. What is happening here? Okay, I got to figure out what's happening here. Hi. So if people are on Facebook, then I had to sign off of Facebook. So if you are on there, I can't see you because I had to sign off because for some reason that was coming through, and that's never happened to me before either. So it might be because of whatever it was that they just got through changing. That was totally different. So I just felt like jumping on and talking about um, what's going on and what I've been feeling and what's happening in the energies. And if anybody has anything that they want to talk about or they want to share or have questions about things that's coming up for you and what's happening with you, then you can raise your hand. You can either do it in the thing or you can do it under participants. There should be a thing down here somewhere for you to raise your hand. So if you haven't been on the call with me before, which I think you probably have, or you wouldn't be here or somewhere you're on my newsletter, I'm Kimberly Crow, and we have this. Oh, I forgot to put my headset on. We have a full moon coming in the morning tomorrow here in the United States, and it is a Scorpio full moon, and we have a stellium in Taurus, which is directly across from Scorpio. Sometimes when I first put these in, the volume's low until it comes up. Is it low? Can you all hear me? Somebody like it wave at me if you can hear me. Let me know. Okay, it'll come up in a minute. Let's try this way. If I don't have them on when I first start, it takes it a second or two to adjust. Is that better? So we have that stellium in Taurus, which is Earth, and the planets are Mercury, Uranus. Let me see. I don't know if I remember all of them. What the energy is creating is a point of fulcrum to really anchor in your destiny codes. So our destiny codes are part of us. When we leave spirit and embody a soul and come to earth, we do all of that in our records. We align to what we're going to come in with and what we're doing for humanity and what we're doing for all the cosmos. And so these points that we've been in this whole year, you all, every month we've had a stellium, which is not, it's not something that happens all of the time. So we keep having all of these opportunities to anchor in these grid points because, you know, last year we went through all of that was really set up for humanity's consciousness to expand into this place of sovereignty so that it would react within us however it was that it reacted within you, you know, whether you felt like you were above all of it, which I did, or it was something that, you know, pulled you down into. But anyway, it was all about to show us where we've been in the trajectory that we've been in and what will happen to humanity if we stay in this trajectory, because, you know, we're being toxic to everything, to our environment, to ourself, to our spirit, to everything. And so now we are having all of these opportunities to wake up. We've always had them, but like the planetary energies are lining up to give us these points to utilize these energies. So it's not about, because one thing in our kind of world that we live in with new age bullshit is that people think that, there's been a lot of miscommunication with law of attraction and turning it all over to the universe. That is not, it's not being a sovereign self. It's like remembering your destiny and connecting to your master self in the energy of that, and being in that connection, in that divine flow, aligns you with your gifts and the truth of who you are and what you came here to do on this planet. And just going, oh, the universe will take care of me. It will, but you may be sitting on a beach in Venice waiting for a magic bottle to show up on the shore, for your next instructions, because there is no time. So if you want things to happen in this timeline, you have to do something about it. You have to take the next step of action in order to create it, and to listen to, to connect to your mastery self, to your own destiny codes, or you're going to be on the path of fate. And then that's just that. Fate is whatever happens in the world happens, and some of it is cause and effect left over from other timelines, your soul timelines, your family DNA, and the encodements that you brought in that way. When you step into your destiny, then you're the sovereign being. You work with that. You're no longer controlled by all of those things, and you use your free will as a tool for the divine. And that's when that's when real manifestation happens. And when if you're just doing law of attraction and your manifestations aren't coming in for you, then there's like several different qualities in there, and it means something is, you probably went back into doubt, and that stops everything. So it could be that kind of weeble wobble stuff that's happening with stuff. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, because that was really coming in. And for me, I have Scorpio rising and I have a Taurus moon. So those two energies are really strong for me right now. And so that's lighting up my chart to step into this. And with that, for everybody, that Mercury in there, it's going to be lighting up your communication and your voice that's here on earth, and what you came in to voice and to speak, and how you speak that. And the Scorpio energy, because they're opposite polarities across from each other, it's going to, like light up the energy to create the transformation for you. So anything that's within shadow, because that's what Scorpio is about. It goes deep underneath the waters to bring the light into the dark, to use it for transformation. So it's going to bring out any wounded aspects to transform them during this time period. So you can either utilize that for your own, benefit, and take that energy to expand that, or, because it's going to come up in you. Like the wounded inner child that was shut down, you're going to feel all wiggy with it. You may have rage, you might get really pissed off for no reason at all, because suddenly it's like all the times that you didn't get to speak, you just like are screaming at some stranger for no reason at all, because it's time for it to be recognized and noticed. So that's what those energies are about when those types of things happen too. Now, if we keep doing it, then it's our rage that if we keep doing it, then it's our, we've come into a point of rage, and it's no longer beneficial to us. That's when we act out in ways that we're sin. Things when people don't know how to control it, and they use weapons and things like that. So anyway, so has anybody got anything that's going on with them? Any big things that's happening? Any questions about that, or anything that you want to ask me about any of that? and what's going on with you and what you're seeing and what you're feeling within yourself. You may be feeling an urgency of knowing that I've been here on this planet for all this time, and there's something right now that's like, it's time for me to pop. I just saw it like popcorn. It's just like, it's like this. And so it's like ready to pop. So if you have that within anything in you and that you want to
may I, yeah, I can't find the raise hand button anywhere.
Okay.
But something's happening to me or in my life right now in the past, actually last week. And how shall I put it? I got angry actually, and then I reacted very angrily at my job. And then I kind of hold myself away for a few days to, like, I was in a lot of stress, feeling stressed. And then long story short, I think I have a meeting with my supervisor, what shall I call her? And I think we agreed on a level when we haven't said it, but we agreed on some level that's it for me, that I'm going to leave. And it's really, really, really weird. It was really, I just got calm and like really, really clear afterwards. Like, well, that was that with this job. And nobody was fired, and I didn't resign, but I just, can you hear me?
I was actually looking to see I was like, I don't know your name, and it's put together on your thing. So I was looking to see what your name was.
It's Vesna.
Vesna?
So, okay. Yeah. So I'm like, right now, I'm like, I have to find out what am I supposed to do. Do I take a pause? Yeah. Do I take a pause? Do I find another job right away? Do I'm like, I have no idea. And then I got like this something in my throat. It's not corona. I got tested, but it's inflamed and red and painful. So it's really, when you talked about not speaking out and not being heard and then reacting angrily, it was exactly what's happened. And now it's everything is my throat right now.
Yeah, so it's that part that wants to be witnessed. It's like ready to speak out. So when we have those big kind of changes in life, those big transformation things, like a point like that, like, because we've put jobs pretty high on our, plates. Yeah. And then when we have that and you had that total calmness, I mean, that in itself is an indication that, spirit is guiding you, and that you are stepping into something else for yourself, or you wouldn't have felt that calmness. And when we feel that serenity, then we know that we're being guided in some way by grace. And so that's when you step into that, the gratitude of it, and that what this point is for you, and you utilize that energy of the gratitude to bring in what the next adventure is. So when you can look back at that and whatever that job brought to you, because sometimes we can look back and see, what the learning was and the experience, and know that it's complete, then you're clear of that instead of dragging it with you. And then you take that energy of that. And so when you're at that level of manifestation, that grace energy and the gratitude will connect to the energy to bring in the next Yeah. The next adventure, the next
Yeah,
adventure.
yeah.
And that's when we go, this or something better. And then, you know, it shows up for us. But it's like connecting to that and listening to the alignment of what that is. So that dropping into, we'll do a thing where we drop into our sacred chamber and into that place of our own mastery where you can connect to that. And when you start connecting to that and you do your alignment first, like if we get up in the morning, like I got up this morning, I wasn't even up, I was still in bed. And I started thinking about it yesterday of when the simplest way that I stayed in alignment. And it was when I was actually waking up and saying, good morning, divine being. So so just saying that, you recognize yourself as a divine being.
Yeah.
And so it's like you are, you know, God housed within this DNA skin suit. And so when we start recognizing ourselves as that, there is a different alignment that happens, you know.
Yeah.
And then when we do that, and then the energy of, you know, I'm so blessed. So you're setting yourself in that energy of that alignment before you ever even get out of bed, you know. And then it's like it sparks that energy of passion, because I think, especially because of where everybody has been in the last year, a lot of people went into complacency. You know, we just dropped into a place of that because it was familiar, it was easier to just be in that. And so now, you know, this energy is, it's spring, it's like the flowers coming up and it's pushing through the ground because it's ready to set these timelines.
Yeah.
And so when we do that, then we can also ask to be aligned to that timeline, because we have multiple timelines out there from all of our choices that we've created, all our choice points. So we can ask to be aligned to the timeline that is the most you know, beneficial for us in this of where we're at, and to bring our destiny in, even ask to that, to bring in that alignment to your destiny.
Yeah.
Does that help to do that?
I think so. I think it's that's it. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, that was you that wrote over here. Okay, so we'll do a thing with everybody to go into that energy so that you can connect to that. Has anybody else got anything that they want to bring up, talk about, things that are going on with them? Okay, let's see. You're muted.
Kimberly?
I'm trying to, who said
I'm
Kimberly?
unmuted. Thanks, Kimberly.
Okay, April
Okay.
raised her hand, so I'm unmuting her. So who was the other one? 602? I'll come to you next. Okay.
Hey, everybody. My question, Kimberly, is about the codes. You say destiny codes. I'm kind of wondering if I just use a different word. I mean, I understand everything you said about how I come in with my marching orders because I've chosen what I want to do in this lifetime, and I'm trying to reveal those. So when you say destiny codes, explain me a little more, because I'm familiar with my 57th key code, but I don't know if that's the same stuff.
Is that in the gene codes?
Yeah.
It's the 57. See, I'm not familiar enough with the gene codes. I mean, I know a little bit about them, but I don't know that much about them to you know, to talk those. Yeah. But okay. So somewhere along the way, in some part of my awakening, I realized that I was a code activator. And so just like how some people are, you know, some people are light workers, some people are grid workers, some people work with angels, some people work with fairies, you know, like we have the different energies in whatever way. And I carry an energy to be a code activator. Okay. So we all have some type of, just like with angels, fairies, or whatever it is that we do. I think that we all have the ability to be able to see all of that. So codes are really frequencies, vibrations. So we carry a vibration within us that activates that within other people, just being in their field. So that kind of, the gene codes do work that way, because I'm more familiar with human design, but when the energies come together, it can activate that energy. And so the way I see those templates is, they just showed it to me like you know what Chinese checkers are? Do you remember the
think so.
Chinese checkers? They were like, they have the different colors, and it's the star with the little marbles that move. I saw
Right.
it that way. I saw it color coded like that. So it's like when you look down, it's like some of the lights might not be on, it's like when you look at these. And so there are different qualities within that whole blueprint that certain people carry. So like I know somebody that hers is the power code, like she activates power within people, and she
Okay.
helps them align to that. And mine are what are mine? Mine are destiny, passion, and they told me what they were and showed me the colors.
Okay. I have a quick
Passion
question.
and something else. I have three. And they showed me how that works, and when one activates, the next activates, and then people come into alignment.
Okay.
Does that make
Um,
sense? Am I helping you with that?
You have. Let me ask the next question. So of course, we've all been doing this work. And last week I was sitting and I thought I did have a really big aha, seeing my dots connect. And that part of my purpose is really all this training and events that I've been going through of personal experience and emotion. I'm being groomed for the next experience, which involves my neighbors and some other people. And I'm okay with that. I think that it was that I am just supposed to bring positivity and light to others and show them that there's joy every day. Is that,
Yeah, you could be carrying the joy one, because that's a code. Joy
how do I figure out my
joy
codes?
and passion are asked. I just kept asking, and they told me. I don't know that it really matters. If we know which one it is, I don't know if that's the 3D human mind going, I need to know what it is. But I do think it's about, okay, what they're telling me right now is, when you start being conscious and working with it, there's a precision that comes with it then. So it's just like that when I was talking about either just going, oh, I'm turning it over to the universe, or that when we really step into it, then we're like this sacred acupuncture point. And then when we do that, it's just like, and then there's a precision to it, and we activate that in the field. So it feels like that. I mean, joy, what a gift that is. That's such a gift, because so many people, we lose joy, we lose that because look how many times, like as children, you're giggling, when you get a spanking because you're being joyous and happy and put in control. So that's like a huge gift. And it feels like that energy activates when it, because there's, it activates the joy, but then it's like, so what does that frequency do? It's going to heal the inner child, so sometimes in maybe the work that we're doing, if you're doing I don't know what, I mean, I know you do mediumship and different stuff, but it's like, so if we're working with that, then that could be what, why we're in the field that we're in, is what they're telling me, because we carry that code to activate that. And when they bring that wounded inner child back, then the joy is going to be there to be able to express that. That's a cool one. I don't know that I've had anybody know that there's this joy. So that's what I would do. Sometimes if you're animals, like if you have power animals that are showing up a lot and stuff like that, then that could give you indications of what it is that that you're working with. Because I have butterfly a lot. I actually had, before I really stepped into totally doing, I was just awakening to everything. And I had a reading with a medium, and this was in the late 90s. And she told me that, she said, all I want to do is see auras, you all. That's all I was going for. It's like, I don't see auras. I just want to see auras. And then it's like, I know I've arrived when I can see auras. I was just obsessed with wanting to see auras because I knew a lot of people that did, and I wasn't seeing them. And she told me, she said, you know what your gift is? So I thought she was going to tell me something like that. And she told me that my gift was to hand them themselves back. And that someday I would know what that was. I would understand that. But when she said it to me, I knew what it meant then. And she said, and she was crying, and she like bowed to me and was like, that's like the greatest gift, to hand them themselves back. And then it's like, oh, okay, I get it. So that, and then whenever the words started coming in with like destiny codes, and it's like, what does that even mean? Then that makes sense, because it's like, you already have this template, this blueprint. We just lost it somewhere. It got underneath all of the rubble of all of the other debris. And so it's kind of like pulling it out and going, oh, here it is. You've had this the whole time, and then it's so it's that kind of energy. So when we're carrying that, and I'll tell, I didn't know I was going to do this today. They told me last week that I was supposed to start teaching other people how to activate codes. And I never really knew that was something that you could actually teach. I just thought it was like, either it's there and you know it and it comes in, and that it's like time to do that. It's time to show other people where it's at and how to activate that and how to step into that. And then when they know what their codes are, and then they're activating that, when we all plug that in, then this whole new grid's going to plug in. Like humanity's going to go to a whole different level when we all start activating the codes that we came to do, and plugging all of that in. It's like, I'm seeing it like it's the template, of the scaffolding that's going to be the foundation of everything. And so when we all come into a line, it's like flipping the light onto the Christmas trees. Everything's going to light up at once. So that's so cool that yours is Joey. I kept seeing, is hummingbird one of your animal things? Do you get hummingbirds a lot?
No, I'm pretty sure owl.
Okay.
And
owl's one of mine too.
I'm beginning to work with mermaid energy, because I live right on the water and I want to develop that.
I saw dolphins too. I saw hummingbird and I saw dolphin.
So I see dolphins every time we go out on the water. So I want to develop that. So if you got a recommendation, but I don't want to take up too much time. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, to me, because that joy, dolphins always express joy. It's like anytime you see a dolphin, it's like that's total, the energy of that. Nobody sees a dolphin and goes, oh, look at that dolphin. It's like, we're all like, there's a dolphin. So it creates that energy with that. And when I saw dolphins, because on my screen, Janine that's beside you, she works with dolphins, and I didn't know if I was seeing dolphins because she was already like hopping over in pod to you, or but I was like, okay, I'm seeing dolphins. So anyway, so did that explain about the codes?
Yes, it gave me some more information to work with. Thank you for being here today, and it's good to see everyone.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably what human design and gene codes are doing too. That it's I think those downloads probably came in for humanity to have maps to understand what the codes and stuff were that we were activating, that those maps are probably within that. I have to get my gene codes done. Okay. I saw somebody else had, there, you got your hand up. I'm going to unmute you. See, I still want to call you Shondaline. I don't know what your name is this week.
Well, actually, I've been asking that question for a while. Janine came in to do her thing, and then Shondalee comes in and does her thing. And then now, just within the past 2 or 3 days, it's like my first, we've been talking about your first name and your signature, and that's what you came in with. Well, my dad named me Shirley. I never used Shirley. I didn't resonate with Shirley. And it came to me, oh, I am Shirley. It's like it's time to step into that, and I'm still integrating that because it's
I
like,
keep seeing Shirley Temple doing her little dancing in the lollipop ships.
it's like I know I have to growing into that, but it's like an old glove that has features I haven't utilized. So it's basically, now I can learn how to utilize and handle the power of my first name, my signature here.
That's
So
great.
yeah, and before that, what was a couple of mornings ago, intuitively I saw where I pinched my throat here in the center and a big grub came out. One of those grubs.
Energetically, you saw that happen, or it really happened?
Energetically.
Oh, okay.
But it looked, it's like real. It's like, wow, look at that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the throat's going to be, the throat is going to be releasing a lot. So some of you I know on here already speak light language, and some of you probably have it right on the edge, for that to start activating in you, and it may start coming in. So if that starts coming up and you let it come through, go. And if you don't feel comfortable around other people doing it, I mean, I walked in the parks, by myself. I would drum and speak my light language, because then I didn't, I was like, then it could open up. I could drum like really loud and then get like even louder with it and kind of drum over it. And that felt like that was grounding that and opening it up. So those are light codes too. And those are activations that happen within that, and it's past the mind constructs. So it comes into the field at a different level, because it doesn't go through all those words that we make up here. So that I just got that while you were talking to, to tell people that may be really coming in right now with that Taurus and Scorpio energy, and that, because Taurus rules the throat, and with the Scorpio energy bringing that energy across this week, that it could come out in that way in light language.
Well, I'd planned to go to Asheville area, Hendersonville, to get my car tag renewed. And I had everything planned out, leave today, come back Wednesday. And all that shifted. It was yesterday, it was like, I don't want to go up there. I just didn't feel it, And I'm like, okay, well, just honor what I'm feeling. Trying not, for whatever reason, I just having a hard time getting back up that way for it, even something as simple as that.
You probably can do all that online nowadays. That's one thing. That's one thing with so much of it. There's so much things that we can do that way that we don't have to show up,
Your inspection, they require.
Oh, that's right. If you stay licensed in North Carolina. Yeah. So just sit with that and see what that is with the energies that, and then you can ask if it's something that you have to do like that, and that you need that in the 3D, then you can ask for the alignment to come in to get there to be able to do it,
Yeah, I'm working on that. It's like, you have it planned, and I guess with the full moon, the super moon and all, the solar flares, it's just probably was not a good time to be on the road and trying to integrate things, especially with my name coming in and other what have you.
So I'm getting for you to ground it, to work. It's like, take your Taurus energy. You have it for a reason. It's like, start stepping into it.
Well, when I say
ground that earth energy.
Yeah, when I say I am Shirley, that grounds me really quick now. So it's a great grounding tool as well for me.
Yeah, it's dropping you back into your healed roots, because I think sometimes we try to get away from our roots, and then that's like a point that is like a center. And so I'm seeing, and this is for anybody, if you're feeling any of that kind of stuff or having any headaches. I had headaches the other day, and I went and laid on the earth, and I felt myself go back into all the way into my tailbone. I felt it go into the tailbone, and then my headache went away. And it's like, okay, I'm grounding this in. And I knew that I was grounding in. Now that I'm telling you all, that was the day that they were telling me to teach people how to activate codes. So I didn't realize that that headache was all of the uncertainty and what does that really mean. And then I felt that go all the way literally through the bones of my tailbone and out the end of my tailbone and into earth. So that's what that feels like that's doing for you. It's like it's like, okay, here's the fulcrum and there's this funnel and it's going into the earth. So keep anchoring into the heart of Gaia with the energy. And Gaia carries our templates to our codes too, because she was given those when we arrived on Earth. It's like we come here to partner with her to do this ascension dance. And it's like, that's who we're here for, and to be her partner. And so she carries all of those books for us for this lifehood. And so you can always connect to that and where those are here in that vault. It's like that vault that she's carrying for us, that's yours and nobody else's but yours. You can go in and connect to that there, and that'll help stabilize you with the energies.
Okay, thanks, Kimberly.
Especially if the solar flowers and all the sun, all that stuff's going on, because with that moon and sun with all that energy in the sun right now, those planets at the sun, it's like it's going to be really intense in that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Got anything else?
I think that's it. I'm just
I'm glad thank you for letting us see the ocean there.
Yeah.
It's like I keep trying to, it's like it's not big enough for me to see a dolphin come in. It's like, maybe we'll get to see a dolphin in a minute.
Yeah, they're out there. I've seen them.
Okay. Who is my there's 602 phone number? I saw you unlock yourself, and I know you tried to talk a while ago. So if you want to unmute yourself, or do I need to unmute you since I'm muted? No.
Hi, Kimberly. That's me, Francie.
Hi, Francie.
Good morning, everybody. And thank you, Kimberly, for doing this. I'm going to start out with my question, then I'll give you just some quick background. But Spirit's been waking me in the wee hours of the morning, and my heart is racing. And I used to do affirmations, and that settled it. And then a medium told me to ask Spirit, what do you want me to feel and process as a spirit? And I keep getting nothing. But she had also told me to pray for a brother and sister of mine. So I did that for a while as well. But I'm so glad you're doing this, because I've seen the numbers 1111 for over 20 years and other numbers. And I know that's not unique to me, but it's made me aware that there is something going on, and that there is some coding, or, whatever people want to call it. And I did have some rage last month. And when I got angry, I realized that what I was getting angry about didn't serve me anymore. And I remember telling my husband, I wasn't mad at him. It was something that had happened. And I realized it didn't serve me anymore, and that I wasn't that person. So thank you for explaining too that now we just have to give gratitude for whatever the lesson was that was learned. But why am I waking up with my heart racing? Because I'm not worried. There isn't anything that was on my mind. It will happen in the middle of the dream, but there wasn't anything going on in the dream that was stressful.
I would
So why Spirit
I'm not
waking
dropping
me?
into your all's physical bodies today, and to get the answers. So I mean, have you are you journaling and connecting and asking what that is? And are you doing that yourself? When it happens, are you going into the energy to see what's happening with you?
I've been working with cards, and even though I've done the work with the cards, it's still happening.
Okay, so but when it happens, in the moment that it happens, so it only happens of a night, is that what you're saying?
Right.
When you're sleeping. So in the moment when it happens, are you asking spirit to show you what you're being woke up for and what the energy is.
Yes. And I'm
you-
not getting anything.
And you're not getting anything with it. And is it at the same time every night?
I haven't looked at the clock, but it feels as if it is. Like it's around 3 in the morning. 3:30.
Yeah, I mean, because that could be all kinds of different stuff. And I don't want to get into like medical intuitive readings or anything like that. I don't want to open up that door to that today, because it was more about talking about the codes and stuff like that. So, I mean, it could be all kinds of different stuff, but that for I would ask when it happens, I would ask spirit to show me, what is going on, what is this alignment for, what's happening to you, and then to ask in the moment of when it's happening, what it's for. And does it feel like a panic, or it's just like your heart is racing? I mean, what's the emotion that's happening to you?
My heart is racing. And I'm sorry, I thought maybe Spirit was trying to give me some codes. So we can end this here, because if this is going to disrupt what you wanted to do today. But I was thinking, well, maybe Spirit's trying to give me some codes, but it's just not coming through. Because I do ask Spirit, what do you want me to process now? What do you want me to do with this?
Let me pull out of where I'm at, because it's like a whole, like for me to go individually into you, it's like I've got to kind of pull out of where I'm at with what we're doing, and then like just go straight to your energy. So let me pull out and then ask what that is. Okay, so you got to give me permission to get in, because you've got like this big bubble around you that's not allowing me to look.
Okay, I give you permission.
So you're doing something out in another timeline, and so and it feels almost like something's jerking you back in, like you're out in this other timeline, and then there's a part of you that doesn't want to go there, and it's pulling you back in. So that's why you're waking up, because you're in another dimension that your vibration vibrates kind of like a hummingbird at a whole faster rhythm. So there's a part of you that I don't know if afraid is the right word, but it panics, and it like pulls you out of where that's at. And so you wake up, and then you're like, so that's what's making it happen. Okay.
Okay.
So I would work with that and see, or close that timeline. Is it asked right now? Is the timeline, is there information in that timeline that you need to know about in that dimension?
Okay, so is there information that I need to know about from that timeline in that dimension?
So what do you get?
I'm getting a woman dressed in white and light around her.
So start working with her and find out what it is that she's that you're doing with that. And then, because if it keeps happening, then I would go to that and see, and to work with that.
Okay.
Okay. Does that help?
Well, thank you very much. Yes,
Does that help
very
with
helpful.
that?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Thank you.
Because sometimes it's our other dimensional selves that are either it's time for that it's us, it's an aspect that we're of us that's in another dimension. And so they're either trying to bring information to us. And so, that happens because when we go into, I gotta close that. It's giving me a headache. Okay. So they're trying, it's us in the other timelines. Okay. So our soul we're multifaceted and we are in different existences. And so we have aspects of us that are in other timelines. And so sometimes that is trying to bring it into us. It can be our future self sometimes, or it can be like another part of us. Like my master self, it's like that's who I work with. I don't work with other guides. I work with my own master self. And so she's the part of me that is the ascended master. And sometimes she's really present because I'm in alignment and all kinds of information is coming from all kinds of, other realms. And then it's like other times it's like more specific to me and personally to what's happening in my life. So it could be something like that that's happening to you. Because when that first started happening to me, it was like, I thought it was a walk-in trying to come in. I could feel it oversoul me. And it was, but it was me as my own walk-in and the part of me that has all of the codes that came in she's like the part of me that bridges the information back and forth. Like she goes to the greater aspect, to the great central sun, and then she brings that back to me. And so when that happens,
thank you for sharing that.
they speed our energy up. It's like it's a higher vibrational energy. And so sometimes it happens during their sleep time until we can ground that in, because it can feel, like it can feel like that. Like, because they're vibrating at a different frequency than we're vibrating here. So if you want to work with it, then you can ask what you need to do for your own physical body to align you to that. And then I journal and get my answers that way. But I also can just go outside and look at the sun and, have my eyes wide open, and then information's coming in that way. And that part of us is always there for us. We're the ones that shut the doors, because she hadn't been around lately, but my soul was working with me. And so when my soul shows up to work with me, my soul just looks like a luminous being. It doesn't have gender. And it's just this luminous light being. And that's how it presents itself to me. And so when she comes, she kind of looks like me. She's usually wearing turquoise and has these flowy things on, and but then she's kind of futuristic too. Actually, I'm going to paint her. I got yesterday that I was supposed to paint her. And I did that when I first started working with guides a long time ago. I painted my guides. So then I knew who they were. And then I started going to other levels. And I got yesterday that it was time to do a painting of her, that I've never really done that. So that's one of the ways I bring in things for me, so that I can have a connection here in the 3D to it. And so sometimes it comes in as sound, as colors, but it's that aspect that is bringing information to you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Now you all are over here in this chat sending me private messages, and I can't do all that, you all. It's like, I can't read everything and hold the energy all at the same time. Let's see who is messaging me. I don't know how if you're sending it to me in private, then I feel like, well, I'm not supposed to say this out loud, and I don't know how I'm going to answer you, because I can't sit and type while I'm doing the other stuff. I'm just letting y'all, I'm not fussing. I'm just letting you know I can't do all that. So I don't know if you're asking me privately what it is that you want me to do. I'm assuming if you're asking private, then you don't want the public to know that you're talking to me. I mean, that's where my 3D mind's going. So now I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to answer these people? Okay. Is anybody else that is on the thing got anything? And we'll do a little, we'll do what I call those transmissions. We'll do a transmission. Okay, one of the questions is, see, I have to read this out loud. I just won't say the name. I feel I'm new to tapping in to alignment, and I don't know what I need to do. I just know there's something not right because I feel I'm searching for a direction. Okay. And so Deborah is asking, so much talk with timelines. My question is, it's better to jump timelines or collapse them and consolidate them when bringing in knowledge and abilities? Oh, that's a good one. I can bring all that in together. I can ask them to give me all of that at once. Okay. So if you're feeling like you're searching for something, then that is that the seeker in us. That's how, you know, we got to where we were. There's some part of us that is the seeker, or because we're not just going when people say to you, because that's not the answer. You know, we didn't accept that as the answer, and we came in here to seek more knowledge. And then there's a part that when is the seeker just seeking to be seeking because it's fun? You know, when does the seeker step into the sovereign one and really anchors in the codes and what you're here to do? So I've been seeing that we are in that point of that. And for the seekers that have been called for so long, that really truly stepping into their role, because it's not, and I don't mean this in any way if this has been anybody's path, because it could just been where your soul initiation was for this lifetime. But it's not about seeking something outside of us and looking for a guru to hand our energy over to. You know, it's like when you do that, there's a part that you'll only go to a certain level. And that may be that for this lifetime, that's what you come in to do, because you needed to learn, you know, something else, because the soul is infinite. I don't know why that came in, but they told me to say that. And it's about, when do we just empower ourselves by you know, following some teacher or something like that, whatever that is. And so there's a part when the seeker grows up, and, you know, then it stands into its sovereign self, and it anchor that the energy in. So if you're searching, then that is that part of the answer is within. It always has been. And it doesn't mean that when we do step into other people's fields, it does activate that knowing within us. So sometimes the searching is that. And then if we keep going to the same place to get filled up, and it no longer fills us, and we feel pissy about it, you know, when we get pissy at whoever our teachers are, it's because we done. That's what happens with families. That's why teenagers rebel, because it's time for them to step out into that energy, and to be, you know, to have their life, and to step into their destiny and what that is. So that same pattern starts happening. So it's a part, you know, the soul is going, okay, I'm bored with this, and it's like time to move on, and let's take this information and we integrate it. And so that goes into the timelines too, because with the timelines, it's the same thing. And I don't know that really, you could do both, either collapse them or consolidate them, because I think it's all the same thing on one level, you know, on the bigger picture level, the same thing. It's the integration process that's happening. And so I know at different times for me, and the work that they sometimes have me to do in the grid with humanity. And you all, I don't go out and I don't seek that. I don't go, okay, this is happening today, so I'm going to go in as secret agent and do this and do that and do that. I get woke up in the middle of the night. And sometimes, like what Francie was saying with the palpations or something, I get woke up in the middle of the night with something like that going on. And I go, what's going on? Why am I awake? And they'll go, well, we need you to go so-and-so tonight, and this is happening here. And I go into those to whatever that is. And it's like, I'm awake in the 3D, and I'm out in the different timelines working, because somewhere I had a predestined code that I said I would do that on that day. That I would wake up in the middle of the night and be there and tweak whatever's happening in humanity, and they're bringing in light codes and I'm putting them in the grid. Okay. So I don't talk about that a lot, because it's just what you do. It's like when you're a light worker and you came here to do that, it's just what you do. And so it's not like I have to have a flag and a big banner and then and talk about it every day. But now, if some of you all are feeling called to do that, I have been feeling too that is another group to create and to start intentionally working with each other and holding in the energy of the grid work and what we're doing in that way. So I'm being told to drop that into. Well, I'm dropping bombs today to drop that into. So anyway, on the timelines. So sometimes when I'm working with that, and if it depends if it's for me or if it's something that's in family or the whole mass consciousness, sometimes I will see them collapse. And then sometimes it's more of like a integration and a melting thing that happens. And then it comes into like one point of precision. And so it depends on whether it's your personal timelines you're working on or if it's something bigger than you, because what they're telling me when it's a big one that's all in humanity's consciousness, that there are probably several people at the same time are doing their part, and there's something in that. I'm seeing it like it moves and it changes, and then it comes into a still point and then it collapses. Because there are timelines that's being projected into humanity that are timelines of manipulation, and that they're for control. And so we are collapsing some of those holograms that that's what's happening. We're collapsing some of the holograms that aren't beneficial. So when we're doing that kind of work, there are collapse points that are going on. So, did that answer you, Deborah? I don't know what is going on with my computer. I keep having this thing pop up on my screen that tells me I need to do something with Microsoft. Okay. Let's do a transmission and see what happens. I'll bring all of this in of everything that we've been doing today, and we'll see what we get and what goes on with all of it. Let's see what they want us to do. Okay, so let's breathe and use your breath. To come in to this being, this embodiment that you are. So with your breath, we're going to breathe in compassion. And so when we exhale, there's activation that's going out into the quantum field. And then there is, it's like infinity wave. And then there's an energy of love going into the self and lighting up all of your cells. And then the energy that's going back out with the breath is grace. So it's activating this quantum field that holds that energy for us. So I'm seeing that grid activate. So it's surrounding us with that energy, divine grace. And there's a gratitude that's coming from greater aspect, from spirit itself. There's the energy of gratitude to us. So they're telling me that they want us to know how thankful they are for us, to us, that we are the ones that have the courage to be here in the embodiment. And that, wow, I'm getting emotional with that. I can feel it in my heart. That we look outside of ourselves for something greater, and that they look at to us that we are that because we did embody, that we are the aspect that embodied, and that the courage that it took to do that and to be here. And so there's like a energy of honor that's being restored and brought into our field, that we overlook that. So we're going to disconnect from the chaotic mind of humanity. So when you do that, the energy cord that you sent out into that mind construct that thought that there was some kind of answer for you within that mind of humanity's field, you're just going to unplug from that and bring that energy back into your own third eye, into your own discernment, because that inner discernment is within you. And when that's connected and when you're in alignment, the answers are here within inside of you. So your own mind construct that you created in this lifehood, from the experiences, the traumas, the dramas, and that, you know, we hold on to it because we think it's going to keep us safe. So we're going to just release ourselves from our own mind construct that we created. You can put it on a shelf. Just put it up on the shelf for right now. If you need it, you can pull it back out. It's there for you. But with this, you can connect to your own inner wisdom that comes from the knowledge and the heart. And when you step into your own sovereignty within your own being, so breathe that into, so you're going to drop into your heart, into your sacred chamber. You know where your sacred chamber is. So just open it up and step into that energy of that and feel what that feels like to be within your own sacredness and the truth of who you are. You may want to go through the back door of your heart. It's really between the heart and the high heart. It's like where your wings expand. Step into that energy. Feel what that feels like to be within that. It's like a holy chamber. It's the holies of the holy within you. So that light beams out the back, and then we're going to kick open the door to the front and beam that heart light out into that grid. So I'm downloading in the field, and it's already done. I'm just being told to say this to you all, that it's safe to be on Earth, and to know that, and what it's like to be supported, and that it's safe to be here, and it's safe to beam your light. So that is acclimating your own frequency. It's like I'm seeing it pulsating. So some people's it's a little one. It's like a little pulse that's going, hey, I'm here, I'm here. And then some people are like beaming it out like in a bigger, broader. Some it's a flicker. So just connect to that frequency of that light that's within you. And this is your own inner mastery that's within you, that part of your God self that never, ever separated, that has always known the truth of who it is. So feel that energy of that divine quality that lives within you. And just be with it. Allow it to activate your codes and what those are for you. And you may hear colors, you may hear sound, you may hear a word. So is that just be in that energy and receive that? Let's see if I can look. There's an implant on the left temporal that has to do with inner reflection. And so just with your permission and to know that this no longer serves you, we're going to ask for this to dissolve and dissolve any timelines that we agreed to have this for what it did at the time that it did to hold the frequencies in a holding pattern. So just say yes to that and stay in your light. You don't have to be nosy and go find out what the implant's about. We're just going to dissolve it. There. Okay, now you may feel yourself really come into your heart. It's safe to be your divine presence. And it's safe to know that and to connect with your sacred knowledge. Every cell of your body. And that it's safe to be on earth. So that divine light that you are, the energy is going all the way through your central column, down into the heart of Gaia herself, and all the way up to your central column, out into your solar God self energy that understands the whole cosmos and all that there is, bigger than this lifetime. So feel that anchoring into Gaia and into her heart and into the records that she holds for you, how much love that she has and support for you. So I'm seeing like healing waters that, and some of you may see it as a lot, but it's like a waterfall that's clearing out the field and anointing the energies and clearing any debris that's been left in the field. So just feel what that feels like to be in those sacred waters. These are the waters of transformation. So you can drink those in. And send out those waters. Send them like infinity waves out into all of the timelines and creating this transformational energy. And then it's like it comes back in this crystalline, diamond-like flow, liquid flow. Okay, I'm seeing like knobs, kind of like on the radio, you know, it's got your station and whatever, the bass and the volume and all of the different stuff. So there's like you can adjust that for yourself right now. So you can ask for the adjustments to come in to your feel and into your embodiment. So just breathe that in. And so while you're in that energy of that, and that's acclimating into your feel, you're going to activate this Gaia's infinity grid to hold this frequency of this energy that we received. So there's an infinity symbol below the feet, and that activates. That's already activated because that's that infinite love and support that Gaia has for us. Aligning your earth purpose. And the energy comes up, and there's another infinity symbol at your knees. We're going to activate that. And that's the sacred knowledge, the knowing and feeling and understanding of how to walk forth with this energy, how to stand in it, to be supported, and how to walk forth with it. And then the energy, it's moving up the body, and there's another infinity symbol at our hips, and it crisscrosses what we call that root chakra and goes into the tailbone, into all of our energy centers and signatures, and out into the timelines. This infinite grid, creator's truth of survival, and what that really is. Clearing out any misaligned survival codes that were not of the divine. Oh, it's a lot clearing out of the sacral. So what's activating this, your archetypal, there's an archetypal imprint that's being activated. Something's being transmuted there, and something's being activated and integrated at the sacral itself. Oh, something you no longer need, so the next aspect can come into its truth, its empowerment. Okay, so now that's like going, I'm feeling that going down into the body and grounding in. I'm seeing the roots grounding in into your grid, into your connection with Gaia. So as that energy crisscrosses up through our body, it comes to our breastplate, and this is where the soul assimilates into this lifehood, and it comes into the physical body. So we're going to recalibrate that soul point to this highest octave of energy in alignment. So it's aligning our earth purpose and our soul purpose. And that energy goes up through all of our energy signatures and centers, all the way out the top of our head, out past our transpersonal chakra, which is up above your head. That's like the template for the higher self energy. So it activates aligns your GPS in your map. The higher self holds that template for soul and human aspect in your solar cosmic self. So some of you may be getting, you know, a whole new map, like your whole GPS is being uploaded. So there's another infinity symbol out and past that higher self, out into the solar chakra. And so that activates. So it's that infinite wisdom that aligns that big consciousness of all of creation and our purpose with all of creation, and that knowing and the truth that we carry within that, aligning that solar purpose, cosmic, God self purpose, soul purpose, and earth purpose, one unified working unit. So breathe that in. And when you're ready, come back into this time we call now. I'm going to send some vibrations to some water for you all, and those healing waters came in, so it's the same energy that was contained in that. And then you can have that and use it. You can drink it, and I feel like it went in. And if you don't have a container of water, it's okay, because you can just designate it. It's just energy that's going into it, and then you can use this to help anchor in. I'm seeing the little. It's like bubbles. And okay. Has anybody got anything? I feel like I need to let you all set with this and anchor this in, and to be with the energy so you can journal or walk or go plant seeds or do whatever it is. There's a park just about 2 blocks from me that has its own little Stonehenge. And that's what I've been going over there a lot this week and laying on the rocks and anchoring in the energy. And it's like, okay, those rocks are there for me. And I feel like that's what I'm supposed to go to. It's like, I got to put another layer and let the rocks activate and bring in whatever it is that they're bringing in. I might try to plant some seeds today too, some flowers with these energies. And that's something you can always use that water to, if you are doing gardens or anything like that, you can use it for your seeds that way, or for your plants. Put it on your tomato plants or whatever it is that you're growing. Okay. Does anybody want to raise their hand? Anybody got anything? I don't know if April is saying goodbye or if you've got something to say.
April was actually saying goodbye. Thank you for that. I'm going to go sit with my energy out in the sun and think for a little bit. But thank you.
Go B.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank
Go
you.
B.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, anybody else? Then we're out of here. I was going to do VIP and open it up for membership for us to go into another room where you all could ask me questions, but I think all that happened here. So we're not doing that now. It's like I was going to stop broadcasting and let my members. I have a membership, and so there are people on here that's in the membership, and so I was going to do that. If any of you all that's in membership feel like that you need anything else, because if you do, then I'll stop broadcasting and take you all into a VIP room. Because I said I'd do that, I don't want to take it away now. I don't want to go back against my word. Okay, nobody's speaking up, so everybody must be good. Somebody's unmuted somewhere. Anything else? Okay, thank you all for being here. Thank you for activating your codes and doing what you're doing for humanity and being in the divine flow. Okay, so we're signing out, and go play in the field and bring in the joy and all that you're here to be. And thank you so much for being a gift to humanity. Bye.